Aloha and welcome everyone to another one of our Conscious Creator Work Periods presented through the Paradigm Shift Central team. This is where we come together to be able to help support each other as conscious media creators, to be able to help share additional tactics, and to be able to help get additional ideas on how to be able to help develop our content, as well as build community, to be able to build our own patrons, generate regenerative income, and to be able to help continue to assist and accelerate the collective shift in consciousness. My name is Brendon, and of course, I'm joined by some fellow amazing leading members here in the community. So, fellow leading members, feel free to just like wave your arms and go woo, say hello to everyone. So here we are, awesome. So we've got Campton, myself, Brendon. We've got Allis, Kristen, Joy, Mallisa, Nick, and we also have Morphic with us. Beautiful. All right, team. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go through a couple notes right off the start. For those of you who may be new to this, if you guys haven't yet, you're welcome to connect to our Discord server. You can find the link to my profile if you're watching this on Instagram, as well as the info on YouTube. If you want to join in with these work periods, these are one of the benefits that you get when you become a leading member, which you can become when you join on my Patreon at the $11 monthly contribution, which gives you additional benefits to support you as a conscious media creator, such as these work periods, supporting access to me as a conscious media creation coach, joining our regular team podcast, and also full access to our Discord server, which is like a production chat. So with that said, I'm just going to hit upon a couple notes real quick, and then I'm going to get into just kind of a quick refresher on why creating a powerful Discord and Patreon is so beneficial for us as creators who are really looking to be able to help generate regenerative income and just to be able to help build community and to be able to develop more of those authentic, meaningful relationships. And then from there, Kristen's going to share some updates, just be able to get some feedback on some potential tips with how to be able to get the message out about our Discords and our Patrons and the value that we're offering. And then from there, we got a few of the other members who are going to pass the talk and stick around, just to be able to get some more ideas flowing and get some feedback. So real quick updates. We got our next team podcast coming up on October 29th. That's going to be our Spiritual Wisdom of Halloween Team Party podcast. It's a potty podcast. So that's going to be, again, this Thursday at 8 p.m. EST. If you guys haven't yet, please feel free to promote this. You can send me a DM on Instagram and I can send you the video graphic. That's where you can do the video green screen effect to be able to help promote it on TikTok. That's optional. You guys can also use the regular standard image graphic to be able to share it on your social media platforms. Please feel free to do that, tinyurl.com/oct29 Halloween. And again, that's going to be a really, really fun one. It's going to be more kind of like a casual, but us still kind of diving deep into the themes of Halloween. And there will be some dancing and all sorts of fun stuff. So anyways, the other thing I want to be able to let you guys know, this is just kind of a lead up, but I'm letting you know about it ahead of time. We're going to be doing a special November 11th broadcast. So this is going to be like some kind of intentional global meditation / visioning of the future type style broadcast. Haven't fully figured out the details yet. We're going to do something on that date. A lot of people got stuff going on. It's going to be an awesome opportunity. Stay tuned for more information on that, but I just want to be able to let people know. And again, for those of you who are watching this in the future, you're absolutely most invited. So just be able to keep an ear open for that. So and that's on a Wednesday as well. So that means we'll be doing that, and we'll still have our podcast coming up on the day after, on the Thursday. And as a quick little lead in, just to be able to get you guys hyped up, sometime in November, we're going to be doing a part 2 of the spiritual wisdom of UFOs and consciousness. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be another one. So with that said, just going to be moving into some of the main topics for today's Conscious Creator Work Period, just to, again, to be able to give you guys as much value as possible. For those of you who are listening to this, who may not be leading members, the intention here is to be able to just give you guys some ideas. Hopefully this helps inspire you. And then again, if you want to join as a leading member, you can get access to me and we can continue to support you along the way, plus access to all the other cool things within the team. So why is it important to build a Patreon and Discord? You guys have heard me talking about this. This is obviously something that I'm really passionate about. It's something that I'm specifically helping leading members in the community with building. So Patreon is a website where people can sign up to be able to support artists they like with monthly contributions. When they do this, the artist can determine what can be given to that person who signs up at a certain level, such as exclusive benefits, or even working with them through one-on-one stuff, or being able to get additional engagement and benefits through community. So this is where the idea of being able to implement a Discord is really powerful. One of the things I've been helping people with, leading members within our team over the past several weeks, has been building their own Discord servers using a template that I've specifically built for conscious creators. So even though this is a template, you'll still be able to modify it for leading members here. I will be scheduling in, even on Monday coming up after this, I want to be able to just kind of do a group call where I'm helping a bunch of you to create your Discord servers all at once. I am also available for one-on-one meetings. So if you want to just be able to schedule that in with me, let me know that and we can schedule it in for this week or anytime in the future. And so again, within those one-on-ones, I'm helping you set up your Discord server, helping you brainstorm clarity on your Patreon tiers. And again, just being able to help it so you got something set up and ready to go. So the power with Discord, again, Discord is a community, it's a community website. It's an app where people can engage with their community by creating a server, and then within that server they have specific channels, and within the server they can create different roles, and different roles will have access to different channels. This is really powerful when combined with a Patreon, because what you can do is people can sign up for your Patreon at a certain level, and when they do that, you can manually give them access as a role within your server, which will give them full access to things within your Discord server. This is obviously what we do in our community. So for those of you who are already in your team, you've already gone through this process. You've joined my Patreon. I've walked you through. I've got you connected as a leading member within our community. It's very kind of like easy just to be able to do. The Discord, again, is something that's really, really powerful. And I think, again, if you're creating a Discord server, it's important to be able to make sure that you're not giving away too much value for free. This is something that I see a lot of creators do where, again, you know, it's coming from a good place, and I think that's totally cool. And sometimes it's great just to be able to experiment and just be able to create that and see what happens from it. But again, you know, with being able to build an intentional community, opposed to just saying, hey, everyone, join our Discord server. Here's everything for free. Please sign up for my Patreon, even though you're already getting everything. It's going to be less likely for people to say like, oh, sweet, this is an enticement. However, if you use the Discord to be able to coordinate not only a digital discussion, but also a way to be able to coordinate regular Zoom calls, regular community broadcasts, regular live podcasts, things of that manner are incredibly powerful when combined with the Patreon, because that creates the incentive. So again, through the Discord, you're not just kind of, again, you're not just inviting people to the Patreon and earning revenue and everything like that. Yes, that is a part of it. Yes, that is great. Yes, that is absolutely a big part of the objective. However, using the Discord and the Patreon is a way to be able to help build strong community, to really be able to bring in people who are going to be able to be there for the best reasons possible. People who are going to be able to make that energetic investment for themselves. So this is where, when you're talking about the Patreon, I've talked about this before, but this is a little paradigm shift that I'll just kind of share. There's a big difference between being able to ask people to sign up for your Patreon versus inviting them to sign up for your Patreon. So what you want to do as a creator, and again, this is stuff I'm helping you guys with, create a super awesome Discord channel, begin inviting in that first inner circle so that you can start to create the momentum. And then at that point, you're sending out the message. And this is already, again, kind of getting into Kristen's stuff where she's going to be talking about this, because I've helped her build her Discord and Patreon. She's kind of at this stage where she's ready to start getting out there. When you're starting to get it out there, it's very powerful to be able to say to people like, hey, like, we've got this super awesome community and this super awesome team that we're building. This is a really exciting story. I'm here to be able to help facilitate, to lead you guys along the way, and to be able to help provide additional value and benefit. This is something that you're invited to. If you resonate, here's how you can join. And having it as an $11 contribution on ours, we make that very, very affordable. You guys are welcome to adjust that if you feel that you want to be able to perhaps focus on a smaller community, but you have the price range a little bit higher. You could literally do it where it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe I only want maybe like less than 30 people in my community, but maybe I'm going to set the Patreon at like $30, $40, $50 a month. You can do that. However, when you have it at the lower tier, it makes it easier for people to be able to say yes to. And so even with that lower tier, you can even still explain to them that's still like a sliding scale. So if they want to contribute lower, they can still contribute higher. If they've been joined in for a month and they feel like they're getting a lot of value out of it, sweet, yeah, I'm going to upgrade to a higher tier as well. And honestly, even the $11 a month with that, like for people who it's not just for you, the $11 a month or whatever amount you put it at, it's a way for them to be able to put their skin in the game as well. If you give stuff, this is the thing that can happen with the Discord server. If you're just like, hey everyone, here's my Discord server, join for free. And then they join. And then if there's a lot of people and then the chat's really moving really quick and everything like that, it's harder for people to get emotionally connected to it quite in the same way. So what you want for a Discord server is you actually want it to be simple, concise, not overly populated, and use it as a way to be able to help let people know when you're doing your things such as your live broadcasts, your Zoom calls, your meet and greets, the podcast, whatever it is that you got going on. And again, just to be able to help bring people into that place where they can kind of consolidate, stay up to date with what the community is doing, and to be able to emotionally connect further, not just with the team, but also with yourself as well. And so this is where with building the Patreon, I'll just talk about this for a little bit longer because we're going to move into the next stuff. You set the Patreon where at a lower tier level, you have people, that's where people get access to your private membership community. They get to join as a special member within your Discord community. And again, I'm putting quotes on special member because you're going to call that something else. You're going to call it, in our community, we call it leading members. In other servers, they're going to call it, like something this, they're going to call it like mega members or super members or ascension members, something like that, something cool that creates, again, a name that creates an identity because you're creating a story, you're building a team of like conscious superheroes, whatever you want to phrase it as. You're there to be able to help support people. It's not just going to be something where it's like, join my Discord and I'm just going to kind of like be giving you as much information as possible, but it's join our Discord where you get to contribute to be a part of the community and you get to share your voice and you get to practice talking. People value community right now more than anything. I'm sure we can all recognize this. People are eager to be able to connect with community. They love the idea of being able to just kind of like have people to talk to, especially since there's a lot of people who don't really have a lot of spiritual, conscious, open-minded friends. So if you can create a Discord and a Patreon where it's like, yeah, like every week or every 2 weeks, we do like a meet and greet or a hangout, or again, you have a specific topic with a Zoom call or things like that, and you're inviting people into that space and you're creating this routine, they're getting to know each other, you're building a network, you're building a team, and then it naturally just continues to grow. And then I'll just hesitate upon this real quick and then we'll move it over to Kristen. The other idea is, so yes, at the Patreon, you can have the lower tiers, which is how they get access to the private membership on your Discord. At the higher tiers, this is where you can start offering additional benefits, such as being able to work with you more one-on-one. So this is where, and I've talked about this, and I'll send you guys like templates so that you can kind of visually see this, where say, for example, at $50 or $60 a month, that's where people get direct messaging access to you as a form of coaching, of spiritual coaching. They're going to use that in a way that's going to be a little bit different for each person, but you're going to make sure that you clearly communicate what it is you're offering, what your boundaries are, what your expectations, so that they understand exactly what it is that they're working with. And then at the higher tiers, this is where you can start offering your one-on-one coaching, like your one-on-one video coaching, specifically your tarot readings. So this is where, again, for example, what makes more sense? Doing tarot readings for $25 a pop and then doing, however many of those a month just to be able to make rent. Or for each one of those tarot readings, what if you could turn those tarot readings into a Patreon sign up where they're connecting further, they're getting the value of the community, and then you're building the regenerative income. So if you do this, and if you set a goal where it's like, okay, guys, team, we're going to build our community. We've got things ready to go. We got our next team podcast coming up. We've got this routine going. I'm here to keep providing you guys awesome value. I'm going to facilitate space. Let's work towards our goal of 20 Patreon signups by the end of the month. And if you set your membership at $25 per the membership or something like that, 20 Patreon signups at $20, again, you're already making a decent amount of income, and then you can continue to build that into next month, grow your community at a rate that works for you. But if you do this in a couple months, you could literally be making, a decent amount of extra income, and then you do this a little bit more. And then eventually this can become your full-time job. And this is me speaking from experience. It took me a while to build my Patreon, but that's again because I was kind of one of the first people that did it. I had to figure out a lot of things. I figured out what didn't work, and now I figured out what does work. And that's where, again, what I'm able to help you guys with is being able to give you the tools and the format and the templates so that you guys can just be able to kind of like accelerate through this. So something that might have taken me years to do, you guys could literally do this in a few months. And then if you continue to do that, you continue to build your content. And again, you're continuing to focus on providing value through things such as your TikTok. Every time you create a TikTok, every time you create an Instagram, every time you go live, you're providing value. And every time you do that, it's an invitation for people to be able to connect further with you through your community, through your Discord, through your Patreon. Hey guys, I really enjoyed doing this live broadcast with you and doing Q&A or doing live tarot. A reminder, if you want to connect further, check the link in my profile to be able to connect to our Discord. Or if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can check out the higher tiers within our Patreon to be able to work with me at this level. And this is where, again, you can even communicate within that you have for the higher levels, put a cap on it. Say that you only got, like spots for like five spots for like the higher tiers where people are going to work with you more one-on-one. And you can set those higher tiers. You can set those again where people have access to you both for a monthly one-on-one call, a coaching call, which could be a tarot reading. It could be a private energy session. It could be a Reiki session. It could be a past life session. whatever it may be to you. And then also to be able to provide like the additional one-on-one voice coaching as well. And this is where you can provide a package like that, where you're helping hold people accountable, you're hyping them up, you're celebrating their wins, you're there just to be able to be in their corner. That's really, really valuable for people. And when you set that value, when you own, this is step one, right? You own that value. You have to own that value in the first place. And then you communicate it clearly and you're just like, yeah, you know, like this is something I'm really passionate about helping you. And then again, if you get a few of those signed up, that's going to, again, just be able to help bring in that additional income. This is something that you're doing full time. And again, you have full control over it. You're not working with anybody who you don't feel is a good fit. Even if somebody signs up, it doesn't mean they're obligated to work with you. You still get to discern, you still get to decide, and you have full control over things, again, as well as with your Discord server. People join in the public space, but they don't get full access until you add them as a special member once they've joined on the Patreon. As you've got your Patreon and your Discord set up, at that point, your goal, your focus is, yes, maintaining the ongoing Discord, yes, facilitating things such as Zoom calls and podcasts and those type of formatted community events. But then again, also focusing on value, also focusing on just creating awesome TikTok videos, awesome Instagram lives, whatever it may be. Those posts are important. And again, making sure that you're creating those invitations for people to be able to connect with you further. This is where, again, I'll pass it over to Kristen in a second, because this is where even just creating a simple post where you guys could literally do this, even, you know, for Joy and for Allis, for the, like, because I know you guys, like, you haven't built your Discord and Patreon yet, but you can literally put up a post where you can just say like, hey guys, I've really been like getting some downloads lately, and I'm really excited to be able to create like a private community space. And I'm going to be building a Patreon, and I want to be able to work with some of you guys further. If this is something you're interested in, leave a comment down below on this video. And then people do that, they leave a comment. And then at that point, you manually go to those comments, you reply to them individually. If it's on TikTok, you follow that account back, send them a direct message and basically say, hey, following up on the post about our community, would you like me to send you more information? They say yes. And then you say, awesome, may I send you a direct message on Instagram? You move over to their Instagram, because you can't send DMs on TikTok. You can only send them on Instagram. And then you basically send a copy paste message, which says like, here's the information for our team and our Discord server. And here's what you get when you join on the Patreon. If you have any questions, let me know. And then they'll let you know. Even if they don't join in the Patreon, there's still value in them being able to connect to the Discord server, and they might join the Patreon later, but at least they get connected to your community. They get to see what you're doing. They get to see your new posts. And also using your Discord as a very, very powerful way to be able to help keep people notified about your new content. This is something I've been helping people set up with through your Discord. That's where, again, if you have a new TikTok or a new YouTube or a new whatever, you post about it in the Discord, you tag everyone, and then everyone within the Discord gets a notification about that, because they're there to support your content. They're looking for it and they're excited about it. They want to be able to see what it is that you're going to be creating next. So again, Discord gives you way more control over being able to help facilitate your community. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because creating a powerful Discord in sync with your Patreon is going to be able to give you a way to be able to develop your connection and build your community that gives you full control for the years to come. Because the TikTok algorithms and the Instagram algorithms, they will keep changing. They will keep changing. They will keep changing. I've seen this happen with people where some people are like, they're like, yeah, you know, like, I think I'm going to build a Patreon, but maybe I'll wait until I have like over 50K on TikTok. Because at that point, it will be easy. Like, this is their mindset, right? More followers means it's easier to build a Patreon. Not necessarily, because again, by the time you get to 50K views, who knows what the algorithm is going to look like by then. And honestly, we've all seen it on TikTok, where even if you have, like, it happens on mine. I don't really pay attention to the views. It's pretty standard, where even as your account goes up in profile views, your views per video is going to be determined by the quality of the video. Always, 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 always is going to be determined by the quality of the video. But again, for each and every single new follower that's coming in, if you can create those links within your link tree where it says, here's our Discord, here's our Patreon, and they can connect to those instantly, that's easier for you, because you want to be able to essentially migrate people from Discord, from TikTok, from Instagram, from YouTube over to your Discord. And then once they're in Discord, again, giving them the emotional value, the emotional connection, and giving them a place to be able to connect with people a little bit further, and doing it in a way where they have invested in it. Like I said, this is just a psychological thing. If you invite people to a free Discord server where everything else is free, regardless of how great your content is, they will be more likely to forget about it in a week. No offense to you. They just literally will be more likely, because they're probably going to join a bunch of other Discord servers and it's probably just going to get filled up. they'll forget about it, not by their fault of their own, just by the fact that the brain can only carry so many things. However, if they are signed up for your Patreon, they will make sure they're checking you, because that's something that they're contributing energy into, and that's something that they're looking to be able to get the energy back. So I know that's kind of a recap for some of you. You've heard me talk about that, but I think that was a good summary, because it's been a while since I've kind of like explained it quite that way within our team within our conscious creator meeting. So even for the leading members in the future, I hope that gives you a little bit more just kind of clarity on why this is powerful. And again, why doing this sooner rather than later is something that you can start on. And you do not need a bunch of followers in order to be able to do this. In order to be able to, if you can create your Patreon sooner rather than later, it's going to help you in the long run. So if this is something that, again, leading members, if you guys want me to help you with building a new Discord or getting clarity on your Patreon tiers, absolutely, I'm here to be able to help you with that. Again, long story short, on the Patreon tiers, lower tiers, discount for items, maybe exclusive videos. Slightly higher, join the private community Discord on the private summary on the private community on Discord. This is where they get access to your regular Zoom calls, your things that you're hosting. And then the higher tiers, that's where they get access to you for the one-on-one engagement, for the one-on-one video calls, for the one-on-one direct voice messaging. And those are your higher tiers. So get those bigger ones now and then, but keep building the little ones and scale it up in a way that works for you. So if you can kind of just get that idea in mind, you can start working towards it. And again, even before you've created your Patreon and your Discord, you could literally put out a post where you're just saying like, hey guys, I'm going to be offering my one-on-one coaching. It's available for 5 people. If this is something you're interested in, let me know, and I can send you more information. You'll already start to get people interested in that. And then again, you just keep kind of like building the community as it naturally will, and just kind of keep with that rhythm. So that's all I'm going to mention for now. I'm just thinking over in my head. I think that covers everything. Give me a thumbs up. Is that valuable for you guys? Does that give you some good ideas and insight to be able to go off of? Perfect. Does anybody have any questions related to that? Because again, even with each Discord, like there's always ways to tweak it based on the uniqueness of your community. So it's really customizable that way. Does anybody have any questions on that? Otherwise, I'm just going to pass over to Kristen. Okay, so again, for leading members, if you guys want me to help you set that up with a one-on-one call, just let me know. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Do not be afraid to create a new Discord server. I have created more than one Discord server in my times. If you're just like literally it's like, oh, but I already created a Discord server and I already made it for free. How can I like transform this? It may make more sense to literally create a new Discord server and then to still have that free Discord server, still keep it going, and then slowly kind of begin to migrate it. They may each serve a different purpose, but again, do not shy away from the idea of creating a new Discord server if that's something that you want to do. And that new Discord server, it could be something where it's literally just Patreon supporters only. And you might not open it up to the public anytime soon, but you might open it up a little bit later. And again, with the Patreon and Discord, you could literally start on the Patreon and focus. This is important. You could focus on more of using the Patreon to be able to invite people to your one-on-one coaching services prior to having your Discord. So if you're just like, you know what, I just want to focus on the one-on-one stuff for a bit, you can do that. And then your private community Discord and the Zoom calls and stuff, that may come a couple months down the road. It's up to you. If you have the Discord at the beginning, that's great. If you want to just focus on the coaching first, that's great also. If you can do them both at once, that's great. It's modifiable, it's adjustable. But just to be able to communicate, you don't need the Discord community in order to be able to start building your Patreon. But absolutely, it is incredibly valuable. And again, the other quick thing is that when people join at the lower members on your Patreon, it's also going to be, those people are going to be more likely to work with you for one-on-one coaching. So again, you know, you're inviting them in, you're doing meet and greets on Zoom, you're just kind of hanging out there. And then you can even post in the Discord where it's just, or even if you're talking to them in the Zooms or you're going live on broadcast, hey, reminder for Patreon supporters, I got some spaces available for my one-on-one coaching. If you're already signed up on Patreon, you guys get first dibs. You guys let me know soon. But you guys, since you're already connected, I want you guys to be able to get first dibs. And again, they're going to be people that you're already familiar with. And again, focusing on building the team, you send out a very specific intention and vibration, and the right people who resonate with that will connect to it. If you create the vibration where it's like, hey, I'm creating awesome content, but everything I create is for free, then you will attract people that will be there for the free content, but not really be there quite in the same way where they're willing to kind of like invest themselves back into the community. So when you give away too much for free, you're actually hurting them as well as yourself. And I know that sounds weird because you do want to be able to find the balance, but again, the stuff that you can keep as not free, can be more focused, less on content, but more about the interaction, the engagement, your one-to-one time. That stuff is incredibly valuable. So even again, if you're just kind of thinking it's like, yeah, well, you know, I don't really feel like having exclusive content, but I would love to be able to have some like Zoom calls with people and things like that and do some one-on-ones. That's where you can kind of like put that into your Patreon and everything like that. So anyways, there's more stuff that we can kind of go over. And again, I'll be able to go over stuff with you guys one-on-one. But yeah, any questions related to that? Does that, like, I mean, is that pretty clear as it is? So Mallisa, I'm just reading your comment right now. So Melissa's just asking, would you advise offering event spots at a discounted rate to members who are already paying for Paradigm Shift Central? That's something that I don't think there's like a one-to-one answer on that. I think it's something that you can offer. Absolutely. It is a little bit of an incentive. Sometimes, again, this is another thing, like kind of what Melissa's referring to. You can have it so that when people join on your Patreon, that gives them access as a special member, and that gives them access to all of your regular Zoom calls. Or what you can do is you can have some Zoom calls, which can be very intentional and focused and less casual, but still chill. And you could have those where you could put it out to the public where it's like, you know, sign up for a spot to join at $35 per session, like per that, just that one call, just that one Zoom call, $35. But again, or they can make it so it's like, or you can join on the Patreon and get more value and then still get access to the Zoom calls. So if you're offering like a discount on just like the single one-off price, that's something that I think it's okay. I think it's fine to be able to do that. I don't think at the same time it's required. I think it's a nice little gesture, but at the same time, I think it's totally fine to literally just set like the flat rate as well. Like, I don't think you need to offer a discount for people in our community. If you want to, that's totally fine, but I don't think it's required, because again, you know, the people who are gonna want to support you, like, they'll support you full price and everything like that. However, if you're just doing, this is another thing, if you want to, you could do some events where you could do it at a sliding scale, but for events, I wouldn't make your sliding scale too far apart. So maybe like sliding scale between like 30 and 50 or something. Don't make a sliding scale like too low. But again, that's stuff that will always be kind of like modifiable, and sometimes you just kind of got to like try it and see what it's like and then adjust as you go. And that's what a lot of your Patreon and Discord is going to be. It's going to be kind of like trying things and then kind of like adjusting it as you go, based on feedback and based on, again, what's kind of working and stuff like that. But again, with the stuff that we've kind of talked about here, there's definitely a way to be able to do it where after just like focusing on it and focusing on your value and just getting more familiar and getting more confident, you'll naturally find that it's like, oh, this is working and this is creating a nice flow where we're inviting people into the space and building the team and everything like that. So, okay, any other questions on that? Otherwise, I'm going to pass it to Kristen. Sorry, that took me a little bit longer, but I hope that information was valuable, because that's exactly why I'm sharing it, because I want you guys to be able to build your successful communities, build your Patreon, and continue to help serve people and kick ass in the many ways that you already do. So, cool. Okay. Kristen, I'm going to pass over to you. Feel free to let us know, because Kristen and I, we've set up your Discord and you've set up your Patreon, but just give us an update and just let us know where you're at. And I know you're just kind of looking for ways to be able to help kind of like get the word out. Let me know if there's anything I said that might have given you some idea. I think most of what I said, Kristen, is stuff you've already heard before. But go ahead, Kristen, just kind of give us an update and anything you feel you want some feedback on, and welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brendon. I just want to say, like, huge shout out, thank you to all the support you've given with helping get the Patreon and the Discord set up. Being able to open the space for a Patreon only Discord channel has been super beneficial, and the template that you provided really gave a lot of guidance as far as like the things I already knew I wanted to offer, but giving structure on how to do so. So I really, really appreciate that. I'm feeling pretty confident that I'm ready to invite people to join the Patreon. I do have a few members signed up and my Discord is active, but I'm ready to move it to the new one that you and I created. So my big challenge that I have encountered is I have members or people who are interested in joining, but as far as me communicating with them how to join or how to be consistent with the sharing of my space, like knowing that there are people that come that are already signed up, but making sure I'm reaching out to the people that are first time seeing my content or first time hearing of my space. And so just really finding a way to be consistent with producing the knowledge that the space exists, and then what I offer within those spaces. And so just kind of like some promotion tactics on how to do that. And then just kind of the wisdom behind what the benefits would be between going live or putting up pre-recorded content for the Discord and the Patreon members. And then also just like the benefits of using each individual platforms for sharing content as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. And thank you again, just for the feedback on that. So just kind of hitting upon a couple things there. Yeah, I think it's going to be really important to be able to communicate with building that first circle. That's something that I think, like, honestly, like, I'm able to kind of give advice on that, but I think there's still like something there that I'm still trying to be able to like really give a clear answer on in terms of the best way to do it. Cause I think there's a few ways to do it. Because again, having that first circle within your Discord is very, very important. So I think, again, there is a possibility to be able to invite people who you feel would be a good fit, but then to be able to clearly communicate to them, hey, I'd love to be able to add you as a special member. Let me know if you would like to sign up for the Patreon this month or next month, and make sure that you get a clear message from that, and make sure that they clearly understand that this isn't something that is literally just going to be free to them ongoing. If you want them to be there for free, that's up to you, where you can literally just say, you know what, don't worry about signing up for the Patreon. Your presence is a value in itself. But again, making sure that as people are joining, this is where, again, you know, even putting out the video about it and everything like that, what you can do is you can, again, create like a literal video where you're letting people know this. And at that point, it might literally just be, hey, you know, like, the focus of this message is to be able to invite you into our Discord space where we're going to be doing XYZ. And then within that, you can let them know where it's like, yeah, you know, and if you want to let me know if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, maybe next month, I can add you as a special member now, just to be able to help get the momentum going, just to be able to help kind of like build the routine. Because having that heartbeat happening within the space is valuable for people to continue to kind of like join into it on the fly once you start inviting more of the public into it. I think, again, I think it is something where you'll find that those connections are going to be coming through you doing things like lives and doing things like, you know, like, even, again, just creating like simple posts where you're talking about your, like, just the option for people to be able to connect further. And you may even just want to say like, hey, you know, we're starting our community Zoom, we're starting our Discord server, and you may not even, just for starters, just to be able to help get people in the door, you may not even want to mention, you may want to create content where you may not even want to mention the Patreon, just to be able to give people the opportunity to be able to say, yes, I like your content, and yes, I would like to be involved with that. And then as they respond to that message, you can say like, here's the link for our Discord, and when you join up the Patreon, this is where you can get additional benefits and access XYZ. But I think having some form of clear communication there is very important. I agree. It is there's a little bit of a hurdle just with being able to get that first wave of people into your space. But again, I think that's where even just making the opportunity to be able to directly invite people and to be able to say like, hey, I'd like for, you know, this is what I'm offering. Would you like to be involved? And if you want to be able to join in for this month and then join the Patreon later, that's okay. Let me know. But make sure they're clearly communicating, yes, I will join the Patreon when it works for me, so to speak. And then again, the value there is that you've got people built up in the space. Because again, your focus should really be on even just like, yes, making sure that you're clearly communicating the value of your space and the agreement that you're creating. But rather than just kind of like focusing on saying like, oh, I need Patreon signups and I need Discord, focus on building your team. Just forget about the money for a second and just kind of think, who do I want on my team? Who would be a good fit for my team? And even communicate that within your content, where it's just going to be like, hey guys, we're building like a badass team here. If you guys enjoy my content and you want to work with me further and you want to be a part of our team Zoom calls where we talk about XYZ and we support you, let me know. Because again, I think at that point, if you can legitimately put out the signal where it's like, we're building a team who wants to come along, let people just hear that and then see how they respond. And then within that, you're also communicating through DM. Yes, here's the information about the Discord and the information about the Patreon. But again, if you really resonate with this and you want to be able to get involved with the team, you can get involved as a special member and then join the Patreon either this month or next month, but make sure they clearly communicate that to you. So simply, and that's literally just a question. Let me know. Would you like to join the Patreon? Let me know what works best for you if you want to join the Patreon this month or next month. And literally just say this month or next month. Don't say anytime you want, because that gives people way too much of a window. People can afford $11. They can. 100% they can. Like, obviously there's the exception and everything like that, but if people are passionate about your work, do not fall for the excuse where they're just like, oh, sorry, I can't afford the Patreon and stuff like that. No, they can. They can afford the Patreon. And even in that circumstance, again, obviously circumstances outside of this, yes, I don't want to be insensitive, but even in a regular circumstances and everything like that, even just invite them to be able to just be like, yeah, you know, like I 100%, I know you could manifest $11, like 100%, like you could do this. Like, you even prompt them as like a little manifestation challenge. It's like, yeah, let's see if we can manifest. I'll work on you with it. Let's manifest $11. Let's feel what that feels like right now. How are we going to do that? Where's that going to come from? Maybe they'll find it on the sidewalk or something, or maybe they'll make some jewelry or something like that. They'll find a way, but don't get into this habit where you're just giving too much of yourself away for free. So make sure that there is some sort of agreement. But again, just kind of like, as you're asking me, this is like, I'm kind of answering, I'm listening to myself talk about this. But again, I think if without explicitly saying, sign up for my Patreon, but more so the message of, we're building a team, here's a lot of value, let me know if this is something you're interested in. And then you kind of do that. And then a little bit later, then you can be like, yeah, and we're doing the Patreon. But don't shy away. Don't shy away from saying like, yeah, guys, like I've got my Patreon and this is where you can connect further. You can like literally, you can have both posts and just kind of like see who's going to reach a different audience. And again, you know, and even just using your lives and using those as a way to be able to invite people and doing your meditations and everything as well. Anytime you do a meditation, get in the habit of plugging in your Discord and your Patreon. You guys see me do this. I literally put it like right in the middle of my broadcast and at the end of my broadcast. Not so much at the beginning, but partway through. They're kind of working through the meditation. Reminder, if you guys want to connect further, connect to our Discord server. We're building an awesome team. You can also join as a special member when you join on my Patreon. Send me a DM if you have any questions, and you kind of continue along with it. But again, I mean, Kristen, go ahead. Let me, I don't want to just keep talking, but let me know. Does that give you some feedback? Does that?
Absolutely. That's super helpful. Thank you so much, Brendon. That's exactly what I needed. So.
Okay. Happy to hear. And then, so you were also asking about like, in terms of creating content, like, or going live on Instagram and stuff like that. Can you just reiterate that question maybe, just to be able to make sure I'm answering it clearly?
Sure. So a lot of the times we have ideas for content that we want to create or spaces that we want to create for people, right? So what is the benefit between creating a live space for people to join versus a pre-recorded space for people to join? So putting together a video for Instagram or YouTube that people can view at their own time versus going live on Instagram or TikTok to create a live space, like just trying to kind of clear the way between what would be the intention for each space.
Yeah, I think from what I've found, I think it's good to be able to have like your pre-made videos very topic specific. Here's value and I'm giving it to you. Maybe it's a 1-minute video, maybe it's a 5-minute video. If you're uploading videos to YouTube, say for example, if it's a 5-minute video, re-upload that to Instagram. And I know even Nick, you were asking about this, and this is what I was going to kind of like deliver this relative to that. Go where your audience is. Don't expect that everybody's going to go to your YouTube. Make it easy for them. Re-upload your 16:9 widescreen videos to Instagram using the Instagram desktop login. Log in on Instagram within your browser, get in the habit of uploading it from there, and you can even create like a custom cover image using the app Adobe Spark. And that's something I can help you guys with if need be. But again, put the content where the people are. It is very, very, very important. And then I think your lives should be 2 things. I think you should have kind of like your casual lives, which may just be kind of like a quick Q&A sort of thing. Let's talk about stuff. Maybe it's just out and about for a walk. Those are valuable, especially when you kind of have a smaller audience, because that gives you a chance to be able to connect with your community. And if you're going to do those, try to have some kind of schedule, or even create a little post about it ahead of time. Hey guys, I'm going to be going on air for some chill spiritual team chat. Come hang out with me at 6 p.m. today, or something like that. But then you should have your more specific lives, which again can be your guided meditations, which can be your team broadcasts and podcasts, which can be something where it could almost be like you doing a 1-hour presentation on something that's very, very specific. And then again, even within those, like you could literally do, like, say, for example, if it's just like, hey guys, like here's like this is where, again, you've probably seen people use this format in like regular marketing. You create like you offer the value where it's like, hey, like join my free 1-hour seminar about shadow work or something like that, right? And then you create that webinar, you get people join in for that. And then even at the beginning, partway through, and at the end, reminder team, if you guys really enjoy this, I'd love to be able to work with you further. Be sure to check out my Patreon, join in our Discord to stay connected, and DM me if you want to be able to work with my higher one-on-one coaching, limited spot available, and we can take you through this process a little bit more in depth. So you've probably seen people kind of like do that with like webinars, where it's like here's an awesome amount of value. And then if you want to get more, make sure you sign up. So you can do that. And again, you can do that not in a way where it's like, it doesn't, everything that I want you guys to be able to do, I want you guys to be able to do it in a way that feels authentic, that feels in alignment, that doesn't feel salesy or anything like that. Your focus is on shifting consciousness, on helping people, on providing value, and inviting people to be able to connect further. You do not have to chase people. Like if you're chasing people, like that's, again, there's like a whole like law of attraction thing where it's like you're like subconsciously like repelling it at the same time. You want them to come to you. So what you're doing, you're focusing on creating a very clear signal, a very intentional signal, high value, really just owning it. You don't need anybody's permission to do this, because you know you're standing in your truth and clearly communicating, being an ambassador for your message, and then the right people will come to you. So this is where I think a lot of people, they kind of struggle with this sometimes, because they're just like, oh, like I have a lot of value, but I'm not being a good ambassador for it. And not that they're like trying to not be a good ambassador. It's like, I'm still learning that process. How do I communicate? How do I, again, get in the habit of letting people know? So that's where, again, don't shy away from the idea of being able to create regular posts about that, even if it's in your Instagram stories. Even let people know where it's like, hey guys, like put your Patreon goals in your Instagram stories. Keep it as a regular thing in front of them. If you're building your Patreon, there could be a post about it every couple days, where you're posting at least in your Instagram stories, where even in your Instagram stories, you could be giving shout outs to your new members. Let people know that you're working towards your goals. Let people know that you got like an upcoming community event that they can join and be a part of. So make sure you join sooner rather than later, directing them to your profile link, making sure that the things are in place, making sure it's in your link tree, making sure it's as clear as possible, inviting them to be able to leave a comment on videos if they're interested, inviting them to direct message you if they're interested, jumping on lives and talking about it and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways. And again, I think it's always going to be kind of different depending on the community that you're building. And yeah, but again, focus on providing value, focus on making a clear signal, and stay consistent to the best of your ability. Because when you're consistent, people notice that. If you disappear for 3 weeks, they'll forget about you. Like not that they want to, but they literally will forget about you. You want to be able to create some kind of content, even if it's once a day, that's great. That's great. Even if it's something simple, even if it's like something like kind of, again, maybe it's just like a meme post or whatever it is, that's okay. But having your consistency, and again, that's where if you're getting in your your scheduled events, your scheduled broadcasts, your scheduled meditations, your scheduled Q&As, those are also very, very, very powerful as well. So, again, we're kind of getting close to the end here, and I want to be able to just kind of open up things. I know this has kind of been a little bit longer than I planned it to be. Kristen, let me know if that gives you, yeah? Okay, cool. Anybody else, just keep things moving along here. Joy, Allis, Campton, Mallisa, anybody else? Go ahead. Does that make sense for you guys? Like, go ahead, let me know. Okay, cool. There's some value there. Okay, cool, sweet, awesome. Okay. You guys let me know. If not everyone needs to jump in this time, that's totally fine. I appreciate you guys just being here and taking notes. And again, anything beyond this, you can just send me a direct message and I'll help walk you guys through stuff. Mallisa, I'll pass it over to you. Did anybody else want to jump in with particular questions for during this call before we wrap it up? We got about maybe 15 minutes. Joy, Alice, you guys are okay. Okay, cool. Okay, Mallisa, I'll pass it over to you. Go ahead and let me know your other questions.
I just wanted to clarify whether those between the $5 and $11, special members level, what access, if you could give a rundown of what access the $5 level has on Discord. Maybe you want to DM this to me, but I'm looking for a rundown of who should have access to what. Still a little unclear to me at this time, and my
Sure.
Discord members are all mystical members, all leading members. At this point, I don't have anyone at the $5 level, so when I do get people, I want to know what it is they'll have access to and what not to show them.
Yeah. Within the general framework for how I've been encouraging people to build their Patreon, which again is kind of similar to mine, but it's going to be unique for you guys. The $5 level, if that's what you're doing, a $5 level, $3 level, whatever it is, that's the minimum level where that's for people that they probably just want to be able to help support. They're probably not looking for too much extra stuff. They're just happy to be able to help support. They don't get additional access to your Discord, period. That's okay, because again, you're saving that value for the people that are signing up at the higher level. The $5 level, again, usually when we talk about this, that's where they might get discounts for item shops, because again, that's creating an additional incentive where you're making a sale that you otherwise wouldn't have made if they're using a discount code. You're probably not going to get a heck of a lot of $5 signups. Again, that's more of just if someone's yeah, I just kind of want to support, here's $5 sort of thing. And again, at the $5, maybe they're getting some of the access to the hidden videos or exclusive content, stuff like that. But yes, the $11 or $13 or $20 or whatever you're doing, that second tier, that's where they get access as a special member within your community. And so until they've signed up for that, or until you've communicated clearly with them, or until you've made some sort of agreement, they are not added as a special member. And then you just kind of continue this cycle. Mallisa, I know it's just a short answer, but go ahead and let me know if there's more to that. That's it? Okay, cool. Okay, the team, we still got about 10 minutes here, so I'm totally down to just be able to kind of brainstorm and get some ideas. Even if anybody even just wants to let me know, this is also useful for what we do within these meetings. Let me know what you guys are feeling are your next steps. If you feel like you guys got some additional clarity on things. So if anybody here wants to share what their next steps are in general, please feel free to let me know, or if there's any other questions. Nick, go ahead. Let me know.
Brendon, that was awesome. I really appreciate it. I think you clarified my question at the beginning, which was sort of what do I do next with the content? And I love the clarity behind, a lot of the content can come as free, right? So the web series can come free, but then the access comes with the value add, right? Where the additional time I need to, engage in the community, that comes at a cost, but then the things that are already done come for free. Or perhaps, to your point, the $5 level gets you most of the courses, and then future stuff is higher. So I love that distinction, and I think that really helps me kind of for next steps. One of my questions is regarding the Discord template. Is that actually something that's uploadable, or is it something we're actually just replicating the steps you created?
So, thank you, Nick. And so the Discord template is a link that I send you, and then it basically loads up the channels with the roles. That's something that it's easiest if I walk you guys through that one-to-one that way, so I can just kind of help you do the little tweaks and everything like that. And it's not too hard. We can do that in less than an hour, but yeah, that's a link. But I don't put that link out public, because I want to be able to walk you guys through that when we go through it that way, so there's no confusion or anything. And also I think, again, Nick, with your stuff, just kind of brainstorming here, even though Nick is one of our newer leading members and is doing some amazing work, again, really focused on creating a comedy web series, Floaters, which I'm looking forward to being able to dive more into. Again, I think for you, Nick, I'm wondering if there's, again, the consideration in terms of if you're creating a Patreon. I feel like it's important for the Patreon not to always be too project specific. So rather than making a Patreon for Floaters, what if you were to make a Patreon for yourself, for Nick. And that contribution through the Patreon, yes, it helps support you in creating floaters, as well as, again, you know, the other work that you are doing, such as your courses, and such as if you want to be able to offer one-on-one stuff and everything like that. And then again, that's where, like, I'm kind of just brainstorming off the top of my head, the idea of if you're kind of building a community around the concept of floaters, it's that, but it's not just that. And then maybe you're doing things where, again, you know, maybe you're doing like Q&A with the cast or something, or you're getting kind of like behind the scenes production stuff, or even giving it, you know, the chance for people to be able to like offer, like even inviting people to like practice like writing ideas for the show or something like that, kind of inviting them to almost, in a sense, almost kind of be a part of the production team in a sense. Again, I'm just kind of brainstorming stuff here, but I think there would be some cool ideas. But I think for you, just kind of considering the idea that, you know, if you were to create a Patreon for Nick and all the things that Nick does, then you don't have to worry about just kind of pigeon-toeing yourself to floaters, because, you know, 5 years down the road, you're going to be working on something else, and floaters will be, you know, a project there, but then you're always going to be doing new things and everything like that. So,
make the Patreon global, and then the tiers could include different projects, right? So like if I had a higher business mastermind, that could be on the same Patreon for Nick's stuff, right? But then that's a higher level. And so, you know, I like that idea. That's great. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and it's definitely possible to incorporate courses into your Patrons as well, where if, like, you know, maybe they're getting a discount where it's like, normally this course would cost X number of dollars, but when you sign up on the Patreon, you're getting this course plus the other value as well, plus the ongoing one-on-one support as well. Like, that's the value, right? To have a course, that's great, but to be able to have a course and then to be able to follow up with the person who made it through additional stuff, that's the thing. So we could definitely brainstorm some more on just being able to how to incorporate, again, what you've already got built and what a Discord community might look like for your community. So yeah. That's cool. No problem. Any other questions at the moment, Nick? No? Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay, yeah, so just check in. Go ahead. If anybody wants to even just share kind of like feedback on what you guys feel your next steps are. Again, not just for me, but I want to be able to hold space for you guys to like practice, verbalize, and be like, okay, what are the next things I need to do? Okay, yeah, I'm going to create my Patreon. I'm going to create my Discord. So if anybody wants to just be able to practice doing that. Joy, we'll pass it over to you, and then Campton will pass it over to you. Go for it.
So I've been working on my website, and I'm almost done with it. I just got a little bit left. And then, finishing that up in my link tree. And then I am going to go ahead and make a YouTube channel and then a Patreon. I might just try and get all of that done in one day. And then once I've gotten a little more comfortable with that, I do want to upload a Discord server as well. My boyfriend will love that.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. That's exciting, Joy. And I know, speaking on websites and stuff like that, like, quick note here. Websites are awesome if you build them, but in today's day and age, you can be successful without a website. Like, you can be successful with your Patreon, with your Discord, with your TikTok, with your Instagram, with your YouTube. All of those things, that's enough to be able to help build community around. Again, I think we're kind of in this weird age where people aren't using websites quite in the same way anymore. Bye, Mallisa. Was Mallisa head now? Yeah. Oh, is that? Yeah. Okay. Bye, Mallisa. Thanks for dropping in. Okay. We're almost done here in a minute. But yeah, so just keeping that in mind for everyone, that I think being able to get really clear on what the value of the website is and how you want to be able to use it. Where, again, I think it's great if it's something that you're putting on a business card, and then people can kind of like go to that website and they can get your information. And then from there, it links into your TikTok, your YouTube, your Patreon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's something that could be good if you're kind of looking to be able to present yourself in a little bit more of a professional manner, which I think is wonderful and everything like that. However, keep in mind that in today's day and age, like, there probably won't be a heck of a lot of people always going to your website and everything like that, but it's still great to have. My point is, make sure that the energy that you're putting into your website is balanced. And if anything, you almost want to create your website where, again, it's almost like a portfolio where you build it. It's like a resume, and then you update it maybe like once a month. If that, it's not something that you're constantly like, it's like, I that's the thing. I used to facilitate like the Paradigm Shift Central website. I haven't updated that in quite some time. And it's not that it's literally just because like I'm not directing traffic to it. Like I'm not expecting people to go to it. It's not, if people land on it, that's great. I got to do some updates. But if they're coming through my content, they're going to be coming through my TikTok, my Instagram, and then they're going to be going to my Patreon and my Discord. And there's no need for them to stop off on the website unless they're just looking to be able to check in on some extra stuff. So again, I think if you can create a website where you set it up, it presents what you do, links to your other stuff, but then you're not always updating it, that is kind of like something that I would encourage. But again, it's always going to be, every website's unique.
What I did, I chose to just go with something because I agree, not everybody uses that in the same way, but anybody over the age of 40 is going to want your website.
That's true.
I feel like, at least in my experience. And so I just chose something that's super simple, that's just for booking and has reviews so people can see, okay, this person's legit. All right, this is how I book. And I'm leaving the website at that. No need to fuss with anything complicated there.
That's right. Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. And just keeping it as simple as possible and just as manageable as possible. Yeah, because again, you're right. If you're going to have a demographic, there are going to be people who will just going to be like, I need a website. I need a website to be able to know that this is a real person with real credentials and real, reviews and stuff like that. So you're right. There's a lot of value there as well. So absolutely. So just being able to make sure that balance is there. So, and then a lot of the information that you're putting on your website can easily copy over into your Patreon as well, including testimonials and things like that. So cool. All right. Let's get close to wrapping it up. Campton, you had your hand up there. Go ahead. Just give us a quick update. We only got a couple minutes, but that's okay.
Yeah, just about spurring daily conversation, in the Discord. How would you go about doing that? A consistent way to spur conversation.
Yeah. And because I know, Campton, you got your Discord already growing and everything like that. With you spurring conversation, like what else other than the Discord chat is kind of like helping bring the team together? Like, I'm just kind of wondering, because I mean, like the conversations, those are great, but the meaningful connections that are going to happen through your community are usually going to come through the Zoom calls, the voice chat, the interaction, everything like that. That's where, again, on our server, like the chat that we kind of have is more production oriented, where it's like us kind of coordinating the discussions. They're kind of there, but they're not always a primary thing. I think they are valuable for people who do have particular questions, and even for ourselves as facilitators, it's great to be able to ask questions to prompt them. Hey, what do you think? Do you guys got any cool links about this? But at the same time, I think for yourself, Campton, when you're building a community, it's important to just kind of like maybe take a step back and just be like, okay, like, is there a way for me to kind of like format this a little bit differently, where, like, how is me creating discussion in the chat, like moving the community forward? Because if you're doing that, maybe there's like a handful of people that are seeing that chat, but the things they'll remember will be your live broadcasts and the Zoom calls and everything like that. So there might be some scaling there in terms of just kind of like how you're building. And again, maybe that's something where, again, maybe Campton, maybe we want to talk about the idea of creating like a private member aspect to your Discord that's already there. So you wouldn't have to, you may not need to create a new Discord, but then finding ways to be able to focus more of your attention on like the higher value engagement and the higher value content through your special members as well. Because it's one of those things, and again, I've experienced this in the past, where there's certain things where I'm like, yeah, I love to engage with my community like this. This is fun. This is awesome. And then months would go by, and then I would just be like, this is exhausting, and it's not moving the needle forward, and it's not sustainable. It's fun, but it's not sustainable and everything like that. So for our sake, being able to find a way to be able to engage with people that every time it's you providing them value, that is also building the team, that is, again, kind of like leading people further into developing a relationship with you and leading them towards a relationship. So yeah, you're still putting value into the free stuff, but being able to make sure that they know that there's additional value to be able to engage with at the higher stuff as well. And then focusing more on the higher stuff would be something that I think would be something that I would just like kind of like meditate on, to make sure that you're not over exhausting yourself on being able to kind of like focus on the stuff that's, again, it's great, but you want to really be able to take like the bigger steps to be able to like build the community and bring stuff together as well. So Discord chats, they come and go, sort of thing. You know, they move pretty quick and stuff like that. But no, I appreciate the perspective on that, because again, I think there's a lot of value that you've already offered through your Discord, and there's no doubt about that. So I think even with your Discord,
what's the value already?
Just in your wisdom, like there's a lot of stuff that you're offering, you know, just through like answering questions and linking people to the videos, and again, setting them up to tune in for your lives and everything like that. So,
and you think that pace is good enough? Like,
I would have
days in between that I'm like having activity in there, right? But I want to increase that. Is it worth it?
I think again, you know, this might be something where maybe we can talk a little bit more, where it's like, okay, if you are engaging, maybe it's like, maybe it doesn't need to be as frequently, but it's still potent, where again, you know, you might not be having regular chat in the Discord every single day, but maybe you're doing a community Zoom call every Wednesday, once a week. So it's kind of like leading up to that. And then when you have those big events, those are going to be the things that are going to keep bringing people back. Like that's the thing, like Discord is great, but we as humans, we connect more with the face-to-face, the voice-to-voice, and everything like that. We don't remember what happens in a Discord chat too much. It's there, but it's not really something that's kind of logging itself. We remember the emotional connection. So you want to focus on where is the emotional connection being developed. And I think that's where, again, having your broadcast, or even, again, maybe if you want to start working more with people one-on-one or something, or just having like small circles of people or something, that could be something to be able to work towards. But
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, that's awesome, man. And again, I appreciate the work that you're doing, and I'd love to be able to kind of like see a way to just kind of like do it where, yeah, this could be like a job for you, you know, 100%. So cool. Sweet. Right. Awesome. Thanks, dude. Okay. We're already a little bit over the 1 hour mark. Does anybody else have anything else? Otherwise, we're just going to wrap it up here. Allis, you're good. Kristen's good. Nick's good. Morphic's good. Campton's good. And Joy is good. Okay, sweet. All right, team, we're going to wrap it up here. Again, for those of you watching this in the future, click the links in this video on Instagram and in my profile to be able to join in on the Discord, connect to the Patreon to be able to join as a lead member, to be able to connect further. And yeah, if you're watching this in the future on YouTube, you can find the links in the YouTube info. And please feel free to leave a comment if you watch this and if this was valuable for you. And I look forward to being able to connect again further in the future. So let's wave to everyone and say, bye, everyone. Thanks so much for joining in. All right, yeah. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks again. Much love. Pew, pew, pew.